Hello everyone, good morning. This is Rahul and I'm going to talk about communication networks topics today, starting with some basic concepts. I'm going to talk about operations on signals, classifications of signals, important signal properties, then classifications of systems, and then analysis of LTI system in time domain. So today I'm just going to cover operations on signals and let's see. Now main now my main concept over here is I'm going to write down most of the stuff that I'm going to talk about rather than just speaking, so that people who are going to see my video from the middle or from the at the end, they will know what I'm speaking at the same time. So let's see. Starting with basic concepts, we now signal is nothing but, in communication networks we deal with a lot of signals, and a signal is nothing but a function of time basically. And some examples that I can take is audio signal, that is speech, music, or video signals, and data signals. Now how I want you to see this concept is, as I've created a signal RIT voice. Now I've done most of my coding in MATLAB, so I will be showing you a topic and then the corresponding MATLAB code to make you visualize how it is going to be seen in a MATLAB code. So let's start with RIT voice. Now RIT voice is nothing but a MATLAB Excel file which has nothing but the amplitude of a voice tone, which is nothing but it's just saying RIT. And basically when we say RIT, it is at different amplitudes at different time intervals. So the signal that has been created over here is nothing but it is created at a sampling frequency of 320 kilohertz, digital encoded rate of 8 bits per sample, and amplitude of m. Now this amplitude m is nothing but the same variable that we'll be using it in our MATLAB code. Now this is the RIT voice Excel file, or basically MATLAB file, that I would say, which will be created through export functions of MATLAB. Now load RIT voice is the command which will load this whole signal in our MATLAB, and let's see how to plot this in MATLAB and see how the signal goes, how the signal works through MATLAB. So let's define our t-axis on which the signal amplitudes has to be plotted. So taking ts, that is sampling time, as nothing but 1 over fs, the general formula, which is nothing but sampling time is nothing but 1 over sampling frequency. Now taking n as nothing but length of m, basically m is nothing but uh, an array of a lot of signals, or basically a lot of values which represents amplitude at a particular time, whose size is nothing but 1 cross n. So now I'm taking this length n in a as this length in a variable n, and now I'm going to define my axis. So t-axis is nothing but it is going from 0 to n minus 1 in a step of 1 and multiplied with sampled time. So this defines my t-axis, and now these are nothing but general commands to plot a graph in MATLAB. So figure 1, just saying that I'm going to create a figure um, with the x-axis as my t-axis, which has been defined over here, and m on my y-axis, which corresponds to the amplitude of the signal. So title is nothing but voice signal, x label time, y label amplitude. Now when I go to the graph, I can see that t-axis contains all the time intervals, amplitude on the y-axis, and this is how the signal looks. This is how the signal looks. So this is nothing but a voice signal plotted in MATLAB. Now coming on to operations on signals, basically there are three operations that I'm going to talk about. Time shifting. Starting with time shifting, let's move forward. So again the same concept, I'm going to talk about the concept, and then I'm going to show you how in MATLAB it looks like, why in MATLAB it looks like that. So shifting of time shifting is nothing but shifting of signal in time, or basically delaying a signal x of t by a constant time t naught. And after delaying this signal or shifting this signal, we get a resultant signal which is nothing but x of t minus t naught. Now the whole shift basically depends on the value t naught. T naught, it says that if T naught is positive, then the delay will be to the right side, and if T naught is negative, then the delay will be to the left side. Now I can show you over here that so suppose this is the signal which is going from -2 to 2, and if the T naught is positive, as I said earlier, so if T naught is positive, the shift is going to be towards the right side, as you can see over here. I'll show you in the code why it is over here and how it is shifting to the right when T naught is positive, and similarly for T naught is equal to negative, the shift is going to be towards the left side. So okay, I have written it over here, so let me just discuss it with you. So if the signal y of t is nothing but x of t minus t naught, and t naught is plus 3 over here, this is positive. So when I equate these signals, so t minus 3, t minus 3 is nothing but 0, so t becomes plus 3. So this plus 3 represents the right shift. Similarly, when I go to the second example where I'm taking t1 basically the time shift as -3 negative value. So now what happens is t minus of -3 becomes equal to 0 and t becomes -3, and this -3 represents the left shift of the signal. And let's see how it is happening. So t naught represents your positive or the right shift, t naught negative represents your left shift. So from the MATLAB point of view, let's see how it is happening. So I have just written a simple code where starting with CLC, clear all, close all, and I've defined my time axis. Defined my time axis. Basically, it is from -10 to 10, and as you can see. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to generate a signal x of t, and on which the basic shifting operations will be performed. So signal x is nothing but x sine of t plus 1 minus sine of t minus 1 greater than 0. So this is a general, this is simple formula for a signal to be generated in MATLAB. And in figure 1, what I'm going to show you is the signal that is going to be plotted against x-axis. X-axis is nothing but my time axis. So t is time axis, x is the signal, b being the color that I want it to be represented in, and line width is of 2. So line width you can represent it as 1 or 1.5, 2, 2.5, as thick as you want. So I'm labeling my graph over here, y label, x label, and the title. So I have generated my signals from -10 to 10, but in the axis I have said that I want only signals to be shown from -6 to 6. This is the representation of the plot. So this represents minus x value, this represents x value. So x going from basically what value to what value you want x, what value to what value you want y. So similarly, so that's why my x-axis is going from -6 to 6 with an amplitude of 1. Now coming back to the code, now I'm going to shift my signal by a positive value of t naught. So when, as you know, as we have discussed earlier, that when t naught is positive, it gives us a right shift of the signal. So right shift means, so I'm just saying t naught is equal to 3, and y, when I create, y is nothing but x of t minus t naught. So my signal is this. Now here I have to add this t naught. So sine of t plus 1 minus t naught minus sine of t minus 1 minus t naught greater than 0, basically the signal. And in figure 2 I'm going to plot this shift with the original signal. So plot of t comma y, and this is plot of t comma x, the original signal, and I'm labeling my graph y label, x label, title, and similar. The axis I'm going to give is from -6 to 6. And so this is nothing but, now in MATLAB what we are going to do is, when we are plotting two graphs in a when we are plotting basically two signals in the same graph, what we have to do is we have to hold the graph. So this hold tells the MATLAB that we are going to that hold the graph after plotting my first signal, that I'm going to also plot second signal also. So after this hold, plot the second graph and then just hold off. Tell MATLAB this I'm done over here. Now you can show me what the signal is going to be. So showing it over here, T naught is positive. So this is my first signal or the original signal, and this is the shifted signal. I've just created it in a dash so that you can visualize it properly, that T naught is equal to positive results in a RHS shift, and why it is, I've discussed it earlier. Now coming on to shifting by negative T naught. Shifting by negative T naught is nothing but, if I take T1 as -3, so z becomes, again I'm going to create a new signal which is nothing but x of t minus t1. This is the general formula for shifting a signal in time in. So z is nothing but sine of t plus 1 minus t1 minus sine of t minus 1 minus t1 greater than 0, and this is the signal, new signal that I've created, and in figure 3 I'm going to plot it. So again plot the original signal and hold on, because I have to plot my second signal also, the left shifted signal. So this is the plot, y label, x label, title, and axis as same as above, and hold off. And here is the signal that has been created in MATLAB. So this signal, this is the original signal, and this is the second signal that has been created, or basically the left shifted signal when T naught is negative. So this is why T naught positive results in a right shift, T naught negative results in a left shift. Coming on to our second operation, which is time reversal. Now everyone knows that time reversal is nothing but the flipping of signal around the vertical axis, or creating the mirror image of the plot. So what I want you to think of this time reversal is in terms of real-time applications. So basically real-time application is where I can see is playing an audio tape in reverse, or if you still want to do more research, like where and all we are using it in a daily basis, or on in a latest technology where we are using it. So I have given you this link. This is the PDF of a research paper that the authors have done, which is talking about this application in ground penetrating radar. So which is nothing but pre-processing methods aimed at improving detection of subsurface targets. So this is the application where this time reversal can be used. And similarly, second application is nothing but this research paper, which is talking about, or this is nothing but a small report, sorry, this is not a research paper. So it's a report which is provided by Sandia National Laboratories, which is discussing about time reversal as a wave focusing technique. So these are the two applications. Now if you want, you can go to these links and you can see why or how they are using this technique in real-time application. Now what same thing as above, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the code as to how we can see this time reversal. So again, starting with CLC's clear all, close all, just so you know, we have a new access, we have new command line and everything new in our MATLAB code. Now coming on to t-axis, again my time axis I'm going to define it is from -5 to 5 with a time interval of 0.01. This is the time axis. Now sorry about that. So now I'm going to generate the signal x of t, which is nothing but, here I'm going to just generate a simple signal again, x. Why x is nothing but exponential signal, and from a mathematical point of view, you can see that y of t is equal to x of minus t is nothing but time reversal signal. So x of t is the original signal. When I do the x of minus t operation, I get a new signal y of t which is time reversed. Or coming on to reversing the signal, which is nothing but y is equal to exponential minus t. Exp is nothing but the command to create an exponential signal in MATLAB. Similarly, figure 1, I'm going to plot my original signal. Okay, first I'm going to t and y, the exponential signal, and hold on again. Then I'm going to plot my original signal over here. So y label, similarly title, x label, legend, and the axis. So legend just shows that the which signal is shown how. So reverse signal and then original signal. So this is nothing but my original signal, which is exp of t, exponential signal, and reverse signal is nothing but the mirror image of that signal. So this is how you have to see a reversed signal operation or a time reversal operation from MATLAB point of view, how it is being shown. And coming on to time scaling, the last operation, which is nothing but time scaling is nothing but it's a results in either an expanded version or a contracted version. These are the two main things that you have to remember, nothing more, nothing less. So if you just remember expanded version, contracted version, when when you think about time scaling, this is more than enough in your whole life. So just think about it, and the rest of the things will come to you. It's a simple concept, not a big thing. So when we perform time scaling, we change the rate at which the signal is sampled. So this is nothing but time scaling. Coming on to the MATLAB code. So let me just show you what is a time scaling in a contracted and expanded version, and then I am going to show you the code. So in time axis, I'm creating a signal x of t now, which is nothing but contracted signal. Contracted means if my original signal is nothing but like this. So contracted means obviously from here to here, from one uh, half time period, it's showing me a contracted version. This is the contracted version. Like it should have been gone to here, but it's been this part is here, and then again the rest of the signal is going to the end of the original signal. So this is nothing but contracted version. Now coming on to the expanded version. Similarly, if this is the original signal, and expanded version will be nothing but this part. So this part is nothing but replicating itself to the original signal over here. Now let's see why it is happening, how it is happening from the MATLAB point of view. So similarly, again CLC, clear all, close all. Now my input parameters will be nothing but t is equal to linspace 0 to pi 50. So this linspace is nothing but I'm just creating my time axis basically over here, which is nothing but from 0 to pi. Basically I'm creating my time axis with a total of 50 samples in this time axis, because I'm going to create a sine signal. So that's why I'm defining my x-axis in terms of pi. So as it's easier to it's easier to visualize the sine signal or cos signal from 0, pi by 2, pi point of view. That's why I'm just declaring my t-axis from 0 to pi with an interval of 50. Now defining a sine signal. So sine signal is nothing but it is declared in MATLAB just by this simple command sine of t, and y is nothing but sine of 2t, z is nothing but sine of t by 2. Now these are two different signals that has been created over here. One represents the contracted signal, one represents the expanded signal. Let's see which one represents contracted, which one represents expanded version. So coming on to figure 1, my t comma x is nothing but the original signal. Again hold on, let's tell MATLAB that we have to plot second signal also, that is plot t and y, second signal. Now second signal is nothing but the contracted form. So 2 into t is nothing but at, basically a being any variable. So this shows you the contracted version of the original signal. Now again my axis is going from 0 to 4 and y axis is going from minus 1.5 to 1.5, and this shows the contracted version of the original signal. Coming on to second figure, again plot the original signal, plot the expanded signal. So expanded signal is nothing but z is equal to sine of t by 2. This is expanded signal, where X label, Y label, legend and title all have shown it over here, how to write it in a command point of command line, and the axis I have defined it over here. So showing it from the MATLAB graph, this is nothing but the expanded version. On the time axis it's a time interval, and on the y-axis is the two signals that have represented the original signal and the expanded version. So guys, this was just a small video on signals, basic concepts, and please let me know of your views in the comment section. Thank you.